Today, we're going to break down the entire landscape of entrepreneurship, but we're going to do it by telling one simple story, a story about a $40 late fee for a movie rental. You'll see how some of the biggest ideas in the world can come from the smallest, most annoying little frustrations.
So let's get right into it. The guy who said this? That's Reed Hastings, one of the co-founders of Netflix. And that feeling, that simple embarrassment over a lost copy of Apollo 13, that's literally where the whole thing started. It just goes to show you, these massive, world-changing companies often begin with a really simple, really human moment.
And this is the big question we're tackling today. Seriously, how does one person's tiny moment of frustration and a $40 penalty end up being the thing that brings down an absolute giant like Blockbuster? The answer tells you everything you need to know about how to spot an opportunity.
All right, so let's set the scene. I want you to picture it. We're going back to the late 1990s. If you wanted to watch a movie at home, you had to physically go to a store. And the absolute king of those stores was Blockbuster, a company, by the way, that made a huge chunk of its profit from something every single customer hated: late fees.
And here it is, the moment it all began. Hastings misplaced a VHS tape. Remember those? And by the time he finally found it, he'd racked up a pretty nasty $40 fine. Now, millions of people had this exact same experience, right? But for Hastings, this wasn't just an annoyance. It was a clue. It was a data point that told him the entire customer experience was broken.
The real magic happened while he was on his way to the gym. He had this realization that his gym already had a way better business model. You just pay one flat fee every month and you can go as much or as little as you want. No penalties. And that was the spark, the aha moment. What if renting movies worked the exact same way?
And you know, that epiphany is the perfect place for us to pivot. Because look, having an idea is one thing, but actually doing something with it, that takes a totally different way of thinking. This is where we get into what it really, truly means to be an entrepreneur.
This definition right here is so important. Entrepreneurship isn't just about starting a company. It's about the process of actively looking for opportunities, especially when things are risky. See, Reed Hastings didn't just complain about his late fee and move on. He saw an opportunity hiding inside that frustration.
And this is what that mindset looks like in action. You see these same traits in so many successful entrepreneurs. They've got this fire to be their own boss. They can handle the stress and the risk of a new venture. And this is the big one. They reframe problems as opportunities. That $40 fee wasn't a penalty to Hastings, it was a business plan just waiting to be written.
Okay, but a great idea and the right mindset, well, that just gets you to the starting line. To actually win the race, you need a rock-solid strategy. For Netflix, that strategy was all about finding and then completely dominating a very specific niche.
Now, what's really interesting is that Netflix didn't launch with its famous subscription model. Nope. At first, they just rented DVDs through the mail, which was a good idea, but not a game changer. But then, they decided to test that gym membership idea, and after a free trial, an unbelievable 80% of people renewed for a paid subscription. That's when they knew they were onto something huge.
And that something huge has a name in the business world. It's a niche. It's basically a corner of the market that the big players are either totally ignoring or just doing a really bad job of serving. For Blockbuster, their market was people who were willing to drive to a store and put up with late fees. The unexploited niche? Well, that was pretty much everybody else.
I mean, just look at this list. Every single one of these points was a direct attack on something people absolutely hated about the Blockbuster experience. Netflix wasn't just trying to be cheaper, they were competing on convenience and just making customers happier. They won by fixing every single pain point that the big guy was ignoring.
Because they were the first to jump into this niche, Netflix got what's called a first-mover advantage. Hastings even said that back then, people thought the whole DVD by mail idea was completely crazy. But being that contrarian voice, being the one willing to try something different, allowed them to build up a huge, loyal following before Blockbuster even realized they were a threat.
You know, this whole battle wasn't just a one-off story between two companies. It's a perfect example of the high-stakes game that millions of entrepreneurs play every single day. And it's a game that fundamentally shapes our entire economy. The consequences of winning and losing are absolutely enormous.
And here it is, the knockout punch. Just a little over a decade after that $40 late fee, the once unstoppable Blockbuster was completely bankrupt. It's the ultimate proof of how a disruptive idea, when executed brilliantly, can totally flip an entire industry on its head. The giant had fallen.
Blockbuster's fall really shows how vulnerable even the biggest companies can be to small, clever competitors. And those small competitors, they're the real engine of the economy. Just think about this number for a second. 89.29%.
That's the percentage of all businesses in the US that have 20 or fewer employees. The landscape is just dominated by this massive ecosystem of small entrepreneurial companies.
So where are all these small businesses popping up? Well, this chart tells the story. The vast majority, we're talking over half, are in this service industry. This shows a huge shift in our economy, and it's exactly the kind of space where innovators like Netflix can come in and just provide a better service.
So what's the difference? What separates a runaway success like Netflix from the thousands of other businesses that just don't make it? Well, it often comes down to just a few key things. Failure is often about inexperience or neglect or just plain running out of cash. Success, on the other hand, well, success leaves clues. There's a clear blueprint.
And that brings us to our final section, the blueprint for success. If we look at the Netflix story and all the data, we can actually pull out the essential ingredients that turn a cool idea into a business that actually lasts.
Here they are, the 4 big ones. First, you need relentless hard work and dedication. It's just a grind. Second, there has to be real market demand for what you're selling. People have to actually want it. Third, you need managerial competence. You have to know how to run the business and make smart calls. And finally, you can't ignore the role of just plain old luck. So let's bring it all back home. Netflix is the perfect storm of all 4 of these factors. You had Reed Hastings' incredible drive. You had massive market demand from millions of people who were sick and tired of late fees. You had the managerial smarts to test and pivot the business model. And you had the incredible good luck of launching just as the DVD was taking over from the VHS tape. Everything came together at just the right time. And that really leaves us with one last thought. The entire Netflix story, this global entertainment empire, started with a simple, everyday annoyance. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What's your $40 late fee? What's that little frustration in your daily life that's actually a massive opportunity in disguise?